Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in new edition of the Batter Up podcast, sponsored by the Dugout Millwood here on the Sports Insanity Network. Top of the lineup with you, Danny Boy Reginald, the old ops guy, Mike Rifkin. Uh, Gentlemen, this is usually where I say good morning, how are you? But I'm just gonna dive right in because tomorrow being the trade deadline and the big fish of the trade deadline has a new home. And to quote the great Fry from Futurama, I am shocked, well, not that shocked. The Detroit Tigers have sent the two-time defending AL Cy Young Award winner Tarek Skubal to the Los Angeles Dodgers of Brooklyn in exchange for right-handed pitchers River Ryan and Brady Smith and outfielder Zaire Hope. Now, we all know how great Tarek Skubal is, and we also know he will be a free agent at season's end. But Dan, this is one the baseball community does not love.
If any rational baseball fan looks at this, and look, again, I wish the Yankees can do this, given the situation of how the financial aspect works in baseball. But if any rational, reasonable, smart, intelligent, just a common sense person that's a baseball fan can look at this and be like, where's the salary cap? Come on now. It's time. The Dodgers, they're getting away with this stuff. And again, I wish the Yankees can do this because the Yankees are allowed to do this too. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm mad at the Yankees that they're not doing this. Because again, if the Dodgers can do it, then any team can do it. But this is another argument, again, as to why baseball needs a salary cap. Because there is just no way the Dodgers can continue to load up on these players and literally take the league by storm. It's wild how many players show up to the Dodgers organization, and the Dodgers don't care. And until baseball figures out how to manage this whole process, this is a whole thing that's going to continue. So, I mean, they're going to win a championship. I'm sorry. Like, you can't get one of the best pitchers, arguably the best pitcher in baseball, and think, they're not going to win. Like, oh, they're definitely going to win the championship now. And it's going to be three in a row. They're going to become a dynasty. And look, until they figure out the world of baseball figures out how to stop them, they're unstoppable. So, this is exactly why because there's not going to be salary cap anytime soon here. So the world of baseball has to catch up to what the Dodgers are doing and play their own game. And if they don't do that, this is what's going to happen. It's obviously a great move by the Dodgers because they're trying to win the World Series and they have the assets to do it. They just gave away three low-level prospects. Of course, the Tigers can always turn those prospects to gold later on, and I hope that happens. But these are prospects the Dodgers obviously didn't care about. And they got Tarek Skubal.
So this is from John Heyman on Twitter about 47 minutes ago. One rival executive on the Tigers' return for Scooble, quote, they got bupkis,
Mhm.
close quote. So,
Mark, you can't look at this situation and be like the Dodgers are getting away with murder. You can't look at it without thinking of that.
When I saw this flash come across, my phone lit up, and of course, the first person right on there was Mike Rifkin, right there, sending the announcement out faster than ESPN could get it on my computer. I looked at it for 5 minutes, and I just stared at it. Now, the Tigers are 2.5 games out
This is
of a
another
wild
thing.
card spot. If the Tigers were 10 games out, I
Like,
have no problem with them moving him. Now, mind you, I'm just saying moving, not what they moved him for,
mhm.
just moving him. You're 2.5 games out
like
of the wild card, and you look at the top team there. Dan, no offense, the Yankees are falling faster than the Bitcoin price.
since May,
Yep.
Mark.
Boston, Minnesota, Cleveland, Texas, Baltimore, Seattle, and Detroit, and I'm sorry, and Toronto are all within 2.5 games of that final spot, and not more than 5 games out of being in the top spot. At what point are you saying this is a smart trade?
This is what I was saying with Bill. Like at the time, the Tigers were 4.5 out. And I was like, are you sure that they want to trade Tarek Skubal? Like, they don't like for a team that's trying to make the playoffs. The American League is so weak, bro. Like, unless they knew they weren't going to get Tarek Skubal in free agency, one. And two, if they knew that 4.5, despite the fact that it's within striking distance of a playoff spot, was not enough for them to make a playoff run, then
It
you trade him.
Trading is a way of baseball. We know that.
Yeah.
We've seen the greats traded from teams that pass forward for whatnot,
Tom Seaver.
etc. Exactly. Seaver's is a great point. Juan Soto. There you go. You just call them all out. Trades that happen. One thing that has to be said is, like I pointed out, makes no sense to trade him when you're 2.5 games out. Dan brings up the argument of maybe they think they can't make that run and get there. Bullshit. This Detroit team is better.
Well, it's two things. It's either they don't think they
Well,
can make the
I'm
run,
taking the other
which
side of it. That's all.
yeah, which of course is like you said, I think it's crazy.
I
Or
think
they know they're not going to get Terry Scoobal in free agency.
so. And then there comes that point. If I know I'm not going to get Terrence Scuba back in free agency, but I'm 2.5 games
I'm
of
fine.
getting postseason money,
Hmm.
postseason coverage, postseason social media, postseason up the wazoo, plus my players for every game they're in the playoffs are getting a friggin' bonus to play. Why is this being done? Now, Mike brought up the other word that we're all going to be waiting on: salary cap. This move was a bullshit move. I'm sorry, I'm dropping it first today. Was a bullshit move for three guys who I had to go look up who mean nothing. This is where the area has to end. This is one thing. If I am MLB owners, I want fairness of trade put into the new CBA. No more trading a guy in single A for Shohei Ohtani. No, trades have to be equal, balanced on either side. No more of this bullshit.
You can't do it without salary cap.
Nope. The cap, I mean, let's put it this way. I mean, I'm going to throw it right back to Mike because this is where we're headed next. Mike, basically, from what Dan and I are saying, I'm from both sides of the ball. Are we headed to that lockout?
Yeah.
So, you know the song when you're a kid, when you're happy and you know it, clap your hands?
Of course. I haven't done it in years, but yes.
I believe last night when this trade got announced, there were several owners in baseball, along with the commissioner, playing that song. Because to Dan's point, this is now, in my opinion, we've been insured that 2027, if it doesn't happen, I think we're going to lose games in 27. I don't think we're getting anywhere near 162.
We're going to have like a 70 game season.
Right.
It's
not going to be a real season.
Yeah.
Now, there's two parts to this. My first part is this. You can't get mad at the Dodgers. The Dodgers are doing the right thing. This is in the rules. They're not doing anything wrong.
It's not illegal.
Mad that they're a freaking legitimately they are an all-star team.
Again, I'm pissed that the Yankees aren't doing this.
Right.
This is, you have to understand. That's where my frustration lives.
But also to your point, let's go back. Who was the last team to do a lot of this? The Yankees. Yeah. Under George.
But nothing like this though. This is absurd.
No. I'm just saying to this is that's the closest thing we've seen.
The Yankees paid their luxury tax money every year. You know?
I know, but I'm saying that's the closest we've gotten to where we are now.
You know, Dodgers aren't doing that right now.
No,
they have deferred money everywhere.
No, that's my point. But I'm just saying, like going out and spending the way they do.
Sure.
I'm so happy though, Dan, you said it, because there are two people in this world we could blame. One of them still holds a position of power in baseball. The other one is off somewhere doing something. So thank you, Rob Manfred and Tony Clark. Because Tony Clark, if you were truly in favor of the players when you were head of the Players Association, you don't let Shohei Ohtani be on the books for $2 million because we all know how great Shohei Ohtani is. To Dan's point, we don't give a shit about the deferred money. And good for Ohtani. He'll make his money when he's retired. But here's the problem. And I saw this on Twitter, and I can't give credit because I don't remember who said it. If you combine the Ohtani money with the Yamamoto money, with the Sasaki money, with what Scooble's about to make, with what Glass now makes and what Blake Snell makes, the Dodgers have $1 billion rotation. Mm-hmm. Actually, let me rephrase that and do my doctor.
Because it seems very important. I was just saying, because this seems very important. Now, mind you, how much criticism did the Mets and Steve Cohen get when he signed Starling Marte, Lindor, and all this? Look at the shit that Steve Cohen got. The moment it happened, where's the outcry?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. You're getting more complaints from the fans than you are anybody else. And I got to be honest with you. Baseball media, insiders, analysts, listen, can we calm down? You guys wanted this. The amount of times we've heard, ooh, Scooble to the Dodgers, just because you want to be right about something or first on something. The Dodgers don't freaking need Tarek Scooble. But what they're doing is ensuring the fact, to Dan's point, they could three-peat. Angels broadcaster Wayne Randazzo had the great point last night. we're going to sit here and talk about the fact that teams like the Rays and the Brewers, who could also use Tarek Skubal, don't want to give up their top prospects, even if it means winning a damn World Series for Tarek Skubal. Think about that. Again, Dan, that's your point about a salary cap.
But here's my counter to that. Let's say they give up those prospects for Terry Skubal. Is that going to be enough to beat the Dodgers? No. Because the Dodgers have all these players that they're on the books for, or eventually will be on the books for down the road. So, like, do those top prospects even matter in that case? That's another part of the problem too that no team is talking about. No one's talking about in baseball. It's like, okay, well, is the top prospect enough?
And again, to Mark's point, we don't know what these prospects turn out to be.
Mm-hmm.
They could turn into studs, or they could turn into, I hate banging on the guy, but a guy like Fernando Martinez who just never panned out.
Yeah. This is absurd. Mind you, if Terry Skubal came over to the Mets and the Mets were winning all, would Mike and I be saying stuff like this? No, we'd be defending the fact that we got Terry Skubal, but we would then go on this same rant. No matter which way it looks at it, no matter who Terry Skubal went to, what top team, because he wasn't going to go to a team that wasn't a contender.
He definitely wasn't coming to the Bronx. I'll tell you that.
Right, he wasn't going to a team that's not
Yankees were a bunch of whatsies.
Right. But whatever team he went to with as little as what we know as little the Dodgers gave, let's say any team that was there and close, let's say the Red Sox gave up their bullpen catcher for him, there would be no outcry.
No.
I think
I'm afraid for baseball the moment Game 7 ends.
Here's the thing that bothers me, because we'll get into other trades that have occurred too in a few minutes. I wrote an article late last night. It's up on the website now. Tarek Skubal is now Dodger. That's not part of it. But then there's the other side. The Cincinnati Reds reportedly are interested in dealing a Hunter Green. Now, Hunter Green is 26 years old. He'll be 27. He's under team control for at least another 3.5 years at a reasonable price.
Very.
So now we're talking about Tarek Skubal and the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are outrageous for doing this, and baseball needs to do something. Well, where's the outreach at the Cincinnati Reds, who are trying to get rid of a young starting pitcher who's under team control? So we have to find, as a sport, a happy medium between this salary cap that owners want and, hey, what the pardon my French, what the fuck is going on? And
mind you, this is a sports insanity moment. Mike and I have cursed before Dan.
But I think the frustration for the fans as a whole lies, well, hey, the Dodgers are doing what they do. Now we're seeing what the Reds are trying to do, or any other team, and they're trying to get rid of a guy like this. Like, what's the deal? What are we doing here? It's not like the Reds, we can consider the Reds, they may not make the playoffs this year, but we all love how much the Reds have progressed over the last year and a half.
Well, if you look at the Reds now, they're only 5.5 out of a wild card game spot. Their rotation might not be the best. That's their weakest part. Their core has got to be one of the best cores in baseball right now. They have a great young lineup, and they have a great young diamond. I don't see the point in trading Hunter Green, especially after his improvement, unless they're thinking, let's get a little bit younger. Maybe we can get 2 studs for the price of 1.
I'd lock him up, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know why. If
It
he's that
is
good, like, let's, the national. Here's the thing I will say about the National League as a whole. Not only do they have star players, they got some damn good prospects all across the NL. So why not the Reds take advantage of that and keep their players?
and I think for fans, that is something I want answered from Rob Manfred. I want answers from Reds ownership. Like, hey, here's a guy who's got cost control. Why are you trying to get rid of him? Isn't your plan trying to win? Because
Yeah.
Hunter Green and Chase Burns at the top of your rotation next year is pretty good. That's not what the Dodgers have, but hey, take your shot.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about fair competitiveness across the league. Like, you don't want to give your team a chance. This is another thing that baseball really has to reason with these players. It's like, well, we need to compete at some point.
Right.
And
And
the
I think the players are saying, hey, we'll compete. You got to spend something. And that's why I had the idea of the salary floor over a cap. But at this point, with the Dodgers having $1 billion rotation, it's
like no other team will except the big market teams, right?
right.
I think the Mets are the literal, like, obviously the Yankees, they've done it in the past, but the Mets with Steve Cohen alone can do what they're doing, the Dodgers are doing right now, and are the most capable of doing what the Dodgers are doing right now.
Right. And to Mark's point, if Steve Cohen did this, there would be
Yeah,
outrage throughout the game.
but not because of Steve Cohen, because of the system
Right,
that
because of the
baseball
money
continues
system. Right.
continues to pull out. And look, at some point the argument is, hey, spend money and you'll compete. But that's the problem. What other team is going to be able to do that? Unless the Penner Group decides to fully buy out the Rockies, which I don't think they're going to do.
There's
Not,
been a
not
talk about it, though.
you know, like or the A's get sold when they move to Vegas. Like, they're not, those teams are not going to put up any money. That's just not going to happen. They'll still have the millions of dollars to spend something, but they're not going to have the same amount of money. They're not going to have a consortium like the
Mm-hmm.
Dodgers have.
And this is where the game is. It's just you have the teams that are willing to spend. You have the teams who are unwilling to spend for whatever the reason may be. They listen. We get it. You can't compete with Steve Cohen. You can't compete with the Dodgers. Well, guess what? You'd spend something. But we'll see what this leads to. But I think right now every fan in America that the Dodgers have become mortal enemy number one in baseball terms. Everybody's going to root for the downfall of the Dodgers.
No
Well,
offense, I've been rooting for the downfall of the Yankees for 40 years. It really hasn't worked, but
come
been
on.
trying.
And they
Doesn't
haven't
work.
won.
I
They
knew that would
haven't
get Dan
won.
smiling.
Yeah, they ain't winning anytime soon. I'll tell you that much. Like, they're not winning anytime
And
soon.
that win with Here Comes the Boone as the manager.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
Another horrible, horrible fucking series. White
Oh,
Sox, now the Cubs. Like, you know,
and
but
they lost to the Cubs in a game served by David Peterson. Come on.
come on, dude. He was untouchable. Like, what?
Well, he
Like,
was in a Met uniform.
when
He was
he's
just
in Met
touchable.
uniform, oh, no problem. We can hit home runs and doubles and score runs galore. Goes to a Cubs uniform, you can't. He's untouchable. Like, what is this?
He's MC Hammer. Can't touch.
Come on, man. This is unbelievable. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Uh,
Kudos to Spencer Jones for actually, having a good series against the Cubbies.
uh, yeah. So we had a couple of other trades last night. The Braves acquired Lane Thomas from the Royals.
It's a great deal. Love Lane
Uh,
Thomas.
Lane Thomas is
Anytime's
a really good player, fourth
Love Lane Thomas.
outfielder. Also could help Acuna. Ronald Acuna could DH a little bit if they
Yes.
needed it. That's a good
Well,
addition.
you can see he's lost such a step because of that knee injury.
Mhm.
I mean, he homered again last night, so
Well, we know he can swing a bat still, but
yeah,
the
he's
days of
not.
seeing Ronald Acuna steal 60 bases in the season is over.
They just see me steal 60 bases in a season's also over.
I would like to see you steal 6 feet.
Well, let me tell you something. Back in my little league days, I was Ricky Henderson,
Sorry,
baby.
Mike. I apologize.
No, and the other one, Luis Castillo goes
Mhm.
from the Mariners to the White Sox in exchange
And
for.
not the second baseman.
No, he dropped that one. For Sir Anthony Dominguez, Nolan Jones, and a prospect named Boston Smith, who I don't understand how they don't just give the Red Sox the rights to this guy, Boston, but it's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But Luis Castillo to the White Sox.
And look, the Mariners selling off Castillo to a team that could actually compete is smart for them. And uh again, bolsters that rotation the White Sox have, and it's a good move. I like that too.
The White Sox in competition
They're look,
division.
division, wild card, whichever one.
Yeah,
We're in August now, so this is
yeah.
the real test. Let's see. Look, they've passed the test basically throughout the season. Now the real test starts. This is contention time. You know,
You're in the dog days, young team, and
We're going to see what this team can do.
yeah.
But what a story it would be if the White Sox are in the playoffs. I'm not saying they have to win the division,
Oh yeah, no.
just
If
in the
they just,
playoffs.
I got to be honest with you. Like, as far as they've gone, if Will Venable's not your AL Manager of the Year,
Mm.
Oh, he has to be.
we're not talking anymore. Like, this is legit. So shout out to the White Sox. Mariners. We'll see what else they do. Full deadline recap show right here, SAN YouTube channel tomorrow night, 8 p.m. sharp. You don't want to miss it. We'll
Be
recap
there, be
every game.
square.
We do know that you get the friendly smiling faces you see here right now. But
And we
hopefully
don't.
we will the one-eyed wonder will hopefully be here. And we don't know about Bill yet.
Yeah, we don't know about anyone else. All right. Speaking of the trade deadline, we got a little bit of an issue in the city of brotherly love. After the Phillies lost the game to the Marlins earlier this week, a series in which the Phillies were swept, Bryce Harper was asked about if the Phillies need any help at the deadline. He said yes. When asked what, he basically said, we need a bat, we need pitching, whatever you want, whatever they need. They need basically everything. Don Mattingly the next day was asked, his response to Bryce Harper, and he said that's Bryce being Bryce, and basically said this: when you say we need things, you're insulting all of your teammates.
What does that mean?
And that's verbatim. I'm not quoting word for word. But man, do we have some friction in Philadelphia?
No, this is the media just trying to uh trying to mix things up a little bit. And but first of all, it's not even up to Don Mattingly. It's up to the front office. I mean, they're the ones that got to make the decisions. Why is Don Mattingly saying they don't need help? Like, what are you talking about? Of course you need help.
Well, no manager ever wants to admit they
Come
need
on.
more. They need more than what they have. Look, he knows it very well that they need a piece here, a piece there. But he's not going to come out and say how desperate he is. Look, yeah,
You don't have to be desperate. You can just be
I
like, yeah,
know,
we
but
could
when
we
you
could
hear
use it.
when you hear a manager saying, "Yeah, I need this, I need that," it comes off wrong to the fans. I'm not saying his intentions are not right. I'm saying the manager is the one. It's not the front office who really takes the hit unless your name is David Stearns. It's always going to be on
That's
the
rightfully
manager.
so.
It's always going to be on the manager. So Don Mattingly's kind of covering his ass when the Phillies make trades, and I expect the Phillies to make some type of deal. I don't know what it's going to be.
Well, I think the better move.
We'll see what his reaction will be then.
I think the better move is to say, yeah, we could always use some more help, but if we don't get it, we're okay.
See, saying it like that makes the statement perfect.
You know,
There's way to say things.
like but at the same time, it's also okay to be like, no, like this team is incomplete and has been for a while because the Phillies haven't been back to the World Series in like 4 years.
Well, I think there's a couple of things here. I think one, Bryce Harper saying they need to go out and do something, I think is a kind of a shot at Dave Dombrowski, who didn't call it. Remember, Dombrowski said he's not an elite player anymore during the offseason. So I think that there's something there.
Yeah.
Don Mattingly, let's not forget this. The general manager of the Phillies is not Dave Dombrowski. He's president. The general manager of the Phillies is Preston Mattingly.
Come on here.
Who's Don's son? So Donnie's defending his kid a little bit.
No.
But here's my issue with Bryce Harper.
Dave Dombrowski is.
Oh yeah, Dave's the face. Mattingly's the name.
He's the one
in charge. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
It's a title and name only. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I have a problem with Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper signed a $300 million contract, $350, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
When the Phillies failed last year, we talked about it being a last dance. JT Realmuto's a free agent. Kyle Schwarber was a free agent. We didn't know the future of Zach Wheeler. Zach Wheeler's come back, and they re-signed both Schwarber and Realmuto, partially because that's what Bryce Harper wanted. So if you wanted to run it back with the same group, which is fine, that's the prerogative, you can't come back months later and say, oh, we still need help. Meanwhile, Bryce Harper has sucked since the All-Star break. He has not been good. He was statistically one of the worst hitters in baseball in July. The Phillies have reached this level, though, where to a sense, and this is not me kicking Dan while he's down, the Phillies have become the National League version of the Yankees, where they want to keep running it back with the same unit.
Yeah.
And if it's failing, it fails. But then at the same time, they just don't have the prospect pool to make that big move that everyone wants them to make. So I don't really have sympathy for Bryce Harper on this.
I don't know. Look, ultimately, Bryce has no control. He's a player and he's making millions of dollars and will continue to do so for the next, 5 or 6 years that's left on his contract.
I will double check that for you.
So it's like, it's, you get what you get, dude. Like, just be grateful that you're still somewhat competing. I mean, it could have been worse. You had Topper as your manager start the season, and it was a disaster. So it's like,
you look at the rise and fall of Bryce Harper. I mean, watching him play on the Nationals, what a sight to watch. All-star, guaranteed, well deserved, had a great swing. But before he moved to the Phillies, Bryce Harper didn't have something that he has now. And that's an attitude regarding money. Here's the thing about MLB ball players that a lot of people don't seem to get. They come up to the league, they make the league minimum, which, mind you, I wouldn't mind making the league minimum at $775,000. It takes years before you're going to get that $50 million a year contract. When that happens, your life and your mind change. And it's no longer you have to strive to get even better. You've made it to the peak. It's now about the people we're playing with to get you back to where you need to be. This is no longer the Bryce Harper show or the Kyle Schwarber show. I'm sorry. I know these two are pretty much the big reason they're there with the power and all that. The rest of the team isn't doing much. And Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber are not young. August is going to be a rough month for the Phillies, and I liked Mike's comparison to the Phillies and the Yankees. I think he was a dead-on balls accurate with that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could have told you. I could have told you that in March. That was the case.
Harper makes 27.5 until 2032. So he's under contract for another 6 years.
Yeah.
$35 million a year to bitch and moan. Give me a break.
And to mark your point, he's 33. So
if I'm an organization and I'm handing over $40 million to a guy who's 40 years old, who can barely walk, what the hell are we doing here?
and let's not forget, they brought Schwarber back for 5 years.
5 years, $150 million.
By the way, only one of those guys could DH.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Eventually it comes down to, and I know Dan has heard this plenty of times in his life, it comes down to one's got to go. Who's it going to be?
All right, so we're waiting to see. So we'll see what the Phillies do come tomorrow. 6 p.m. is the deadline. And by the way, if you're the Phillies, you went from that top wild card spot to now clinging to that last wild card spot because they're only up a game on the red hot San Diego Padres, and we're overtaken by the red hot Arizona Diamondbacks, who were 8-2 in their last 10. They are, I'm sorry, 7-3 in their last 10. They won 4 in a row, including the first 2 in a fun series against the Guardians.
Yeah, a great series so far, actually.
Yeah, and the Padres 7-3 in their last 10. They've taken advantage of their schedule. Meanwhile, the Phillies 2-8 in their last 10, including that Marlins sweep. So this battle for that NL wild card is getting pretty spicy as we come into the dog days.
Yep.
If you look at both sides of the conference, it's going to be a battle on both sides.
Oh, yeah.
Teams if you cut it down to certain ones, there's a total of about 13 teams that are less than 5 games out of a playoff spot. It's going to be a fun race.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I know that this team has fallen off, but the Cardinals too.
Yep.
And they're only 4 out.
It's 4. It's nothing.
Yeah, it's 4.
So,
I mean, the people are talking about the Marlins selling off. They're a game and a half out. I mean, if you go to the American League for a second,
tighter.
The Twins and Guardians are tied for that last wild card. Texas is right there. The Orioles are right there. We talked about the Tigers 2.5 earlier. The Mariners are 2, and the Blue Jays are 3.5.
Yankees and Red Sox are
by the way, the Red Sox are right on the Yankee heels.
The Red Sox are only 2.5, and they're 21 and 22 and 4 or something like that. in their last 26 games. Like,
And they've won like 8 straight series, the Red
it's
Sox.
absurd, bro. Like,
I mean, I mean, here we are. This is what we love coming down the
mm.
stretch. Now, Mark, I'm going to put you on the spot. The Mets are only 11 and a half out of that last wild card. You see a run coming?
Oh my
Well, if you were watching the ball game yesterday, fuck no.
God. I think the Kansas City Royals, despite offing some of their players, have a way better chance to make the wild card at 10 games out than the New York Metropolitans do at 11 and a half out.
Look, if anything, yesterday was the 40th anniversary of the 86 Mets
Oh,
World Series. And sitting there and getting to watch, the ceremony was really nice. Charlotte watched with me. But here's the thing, and I know Mike was watching. Why the fuck do we make these old guys sit on old-fashioned metal rafters
Yeah,
yeah.
that
and
I
not
didn't understand.
chairs?
Like you
Stayed
don't
up
have
all
chairs.
night, had to be helped out of his wheelchair and put into these metal rafters.
God damn.
Get these guys
Well, even
chairs.
Doc Gooden. Doc Gooden is not moving well. Like, you know.
Doc Gooden's got that cocaine step. It's the walk and slide, it's the walk and slide.
Yes.
Look, it was a great moment. Got to see some great things, great memories. I was there in game 6 when the guy parachuted down, one of the greatest things my dad ever took me to. And then, of course, they won it on game 7. But I did get to see the famous Buckner Wilson play no more than 100 feet from my face. So that's what I get to talk about the Mets, because there is no unless Chicago, Arizona, Philadelphia, San Diego, the Miami Marlins, Pittsburgh Pirates, Washington Nationals, the Cardinals, and Reds and Giants all go to Taco Bell tomorrow. The Mets have no chance.
They need a cyclospora outbreak.
And that's why I'm saying,
You
unless
know?
they go to Taco Bell, the Mets have no chance.
Unless they go to Taco Bell. No, look, we're in the dog days. These are the races that matter. These wild cards.
Yeah.
Divisions are still up for grabs for sure. Everything outside of the NL West, because the Dodgers are up 100 games anyway. But look, this is what August is about in baseball. We're into these races, man, and it should be fun. Teams we didn't think would play well. The Twins. Twins are right now back into it. We thought the Twins were dead.
One of the bigger stories of this year. It's this year has been the story of the forgottens. And I hate to say it like that, but it's kind of relevant.
No,
When I say the forgottens, I'm talking about the Orioles, the Twins. Now we know KC ain't getting there.
I'm begging the Orioles. Do something good. Do something big.
Let's send Freddie Peralta to the Orioles. They'll get a pitcher. We get Pete back. We get our first baseman back. Trade over. Not going to happen. Sorry. The Orioles, Mike, to your point, do not need a bat.
No,
they need starting pitching. And there's not that much out there.
And the other team they're going to do something that surprises everyone. I'm telling you right now. They just reclaimed first place in the AL West. The Astros are going to do something because they see what the American League is.
I mean, you could get more protection for Yordan Alvarez in the lineup. That would be one move. I mean, even though he's having the year of years, it's not like the guy needs protection the way he's playing. But I wouldn't mind seeing him not always being kind of pitched around a little bit.
Yeah.
So, again, trade deadline tomorrow, 6 p.m. We'll be live around 8. Yeah. Trade deadline coverage.
I'll be mourning the loss of Camilo Doval.
Mike, I'll wear the bag.
I'll wear the
Wait, call Bill. We need the bag on the episode.
I wish Camilo Doval very, very well in Pittsburgh. Hopefully he finds his stuff.
All right. So one of the more fascinating stories in all of baseball. I don't know if you guys heard about this. So former Met and Yankee legend Harrison Bader
Oh,
Mm.
has been out with a with plantar fasciitis and a foot injury.
Mm.
painful injury, by the way, if you don't know what it is.
Mm. The other night, he got into a scooter accident. He's now out for the rest of the season. And now the Giants are trying to withhold pay due to the injury because it didn't happen on the field.
Because it happened while he was on the IL, they are going to win the case.
Yeah, so this is a really, really interesting story.
This is the Jesse Armstead July 4th fireworks. This is who was the pitcher who cut his hand while doing something right before the playoffs? Who's doing something stupid? It just goes to show you, even guys we show respect to make dumb mistakes. I have a lot of respect for Harrison Bader, especially
Oh,
what he
yeah.
did when he was on the Mets. But come on, guys.
Oh, man. So,
I don't know, man. Like I just feel like if you're really committed to the team, you wouldn't be getting on a scooter while recovering from plantar fasciitis. Like, you know, and again, Harrison Bader's great, but you gotta be smarter than that, dude. Like,
yeah, so it's a tough look. Giants aren't going anywhere anyway, but
nah.
yeah, not a good look for Harrison Bader. So we'll see what
We
happens with that.
lost another tough one to the Padres.
Oh, the Giants have had a rough year.
Yeah.
And by the way, they haven't found any takers on those big.
On any of them. And I'm kind of surprised. You would think if there's no take, I mean, obviously, not a lot of teams are going to want to shell out big money right now, especially teams that are looking to rebuild even for next year. But the Giants have players that have a couple years left on their contract. If you can work something out, you can end up with a decent player. I mean, let's put out Rafi Devers there for a minute. I know he has a couple of years. I know the guy makes a lot of money. You're telling me there aren't teams out there that are going to miss the playoffs that wouldn't want to have an all-star third baseman positioned in for next year?
Well, remember, I think it's like 7 and 199. Let me just double check.
I
But
mean,
they could
7,199 is a lot of money. I'm not going to say it's not. Knock off a 1 year off that. So,
yeah, so it's 7 and 199.5 million left. Adamas has 55 years, 155.7 million left. And Chapman has 4 years at 100.7 million left.
Chapman, unfortunately, is never going to get moved because he's too old now. I still think there's a case for a team to go after Rafi Devers if they can get him cheaply. If they're willing to take on the contract, which is the key part of it.
Well, I think that's the thing. I think teams would be more willing to do a Devers deal the winter than right now. Cleveland.
Jose Ramirez.
Devers and Ramirez in the middle of the lineup. Ooh.
That'd be scary.
Yeah. So on to our series for the week. We talked about them before. Dan, the Nats are still hanging around too.
And you'd think with the way the Nationals been playing that this is like a free fall type of thing. Four in a row. They're facing good teams. The problem is the Phillies, which are supposed to be a good team. Problem is they're also not playing well. So this could be a get right situation for the Nationals this week.
After they getting pounded by the Braves. The Yankees will host the Cardinals. For man's sake.
For God for the love of God. Like can we The Cardinals are a good team, and they're in a tough National League. Can the Yankees go out there and win some games here? Like the Cardinals haven't been playing well. Yankees have been okay at least. Like do something.
Get that picture with the stick and poke.
Hey man, amen to that.
White Sox, Red Sox at Fenway.
I think that's a more important series than a lot of people realize right now.
Yeah.
Well, the Red Sox run basically started with a sweep at the hands of the White Sox.
And you don't think the White Sox remember that? They
No,
remember
they
that?
do. I think they do.
Like
I think they're gonna have something to say.
Battle of the Sox, who wins it?
Yeah.
Who goes in the laundry first, red or white? The
Well,
Marlins.
remember, you don't want to put them in at the same time,
You
or you're going to be the
can't.
pink. You'll be the pink.
Marlins, Braves.
I think a bigger series for the Marlins.
Huge series for the Marlins.
Well, it's a pride thing, right? I mean,
You want to be around. You want to hang around. You got to do something. Dodgers, Cubs at Wrigley.
this is like the first week we can see Scooble, right? So,
Oh, by the way, the Dodgers go to Comerica at the end of the month, so he gets his return pretty quickly.
yeah.
Whether he'll be available to pitch or not, that'll be another.
We don't know. Yeah. Tigers, Mariners is in a rematch from last year's playoffs, but also wild card implications right now.
Mhm.
And we talked about both these teams before. The Padres go to Arizona to play the Diamondbacks.
I think the Padres and Diamondbacks right now in that Western Division battle, even though it's not going to be for the West, because we all know that's going to go to LAD, but the fact is that these teams are ultra competitive right now, and it's great for baseball that you have division rivals like biting tooth and nail to scratch their way to the surface. It's awesome. It's awesome to watch.
Yeah, so those are the series for the
And
week.
break up the D-backs. So like what
Break
do we
them up.
like? Come
Gabriel
on!
Moreno, have a year, my man.
Holy crap, dude!
Corbin Carroll, oh, have a year. In a year where, hey, by the way, who knows? In the next couple of weeks, they may get Corbin Burns back.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can get Corbin Burns back down the stretch,
Elite Corbin Burns too.
oh,
Not the crap we saw in Baltimore. You know.
Well, we'll see what happened. We'll see what he looks like. Let's not put him on the gold pedestal just yet. I mean, the guy hasn't
but
thrown in a
just
game in
having his
over a year.
presence might be massive.
I would be happier to say give him one start if he proves he can do it. Send him back down, and save him for the playoffs.
And then next weekend, Braves will go to the Bronx, play the Yankees. Guardians, White Sox for the top of the AL Central.
Another very important series. And the series are going to get better as we get closer to the draw here.
Yeah. Twins, Brewers next weekend. Astros, Padres, Dodgers. How about the week for the D-backs to get the Padres and the Dodgers in the same week?
Show
in
me
the
something.
same week, that's rough, but kind of expected considering they're in the same division.
Well, show me something.
Yeah.
You gotta show me something at some point. You know,
if you can find a way, man, to go, I don't know. It's 3 games each. If you could go 4-2 in that stretch, that's something. And the Rays and the Mariners in Seattle.
yeah, West Coast trip
Again,
for the Rays.
I was about to say, again, the Rays are the talk of the AL East, and not because they're hitting 900 home runs. They're doing it every way they can, and that's what I love about the Rays.
Well, you have to understand, based on the amount of based on their run differential, Mark.
Yes,
they should be 59 and 51 on the season. They're doing way better than expected based on run differential. So, a lot of it's good pitching. A lot of it's, stopping other teams from beating them, and they're finding ways to win. It's
Yeah,
incredible what they're doing.
Drew
absolutely.
Rasmussen had 10 strikeouts yesterday.
I was about to
It's
say, yeah,
absurd.
yesterday. I saw this morning, and this is not something we've never seen before. We've seen this Tampa organization get put together to go on runs, then gets taken apart.
Yeah.
It's like its sister club in the NL, the Miami Marlins. They get put together, they make a good run, then they trade it away and they rebuild. To me, I hate to put it this way, that's signs of good management.
Mm-hmm.
They know what they're doing.
And you have to understand, my brother and I were having this conversation. They're not world beaters.
No,
They're not
No,
world beaters. Like, the Rays, they have good hitters, obviously, but it's not like they're beating up on teams like crazy. I just gave you the run differential right now is plus 39. 483 to 444. 483 is the amount of runs scored. 444 is the runs allowed. They should be 59 and 51 right now.
they're just playing that
Just
good.
just just think about it that way. They're not world beaters, but they're manufacturing victories.
Yep.
they find ways. And it's been there, let's be honest, since the Joe Madden days. That's been what it is.
Mhm.
They do some magical voodoo, whatever it is they do, and they find a formula and it works for them.
Yeah.
Right.
I do have some bad news for them. The Boston Red Sox have won their last 8 series and
Yeah.
are continuing to climb up the standings. Um, Not saying that the Rays thing won't last because they've been playing good baseball. They've been on top of the division for a very long time, and I expect them to be there. But if the Red Sox continue this run, they're going to catch up to them.
Let's not forget, right after the All-Star break, the Red Sox swept them 4 at
Mhm.
Fenway.
Hmm.
I mean, the Red Sox are playing out of their damn minds.
Yeah,
They won the first 2 in LA this weekend.
yeah.
But here comes the question. And it's the question that not just I'm going to ask, that's been asked all over. Will they be able to keep it up in the hardest month of baseball?
Yes.
They're
Okay.
they're they're 1-0 so far.
I, look, you have to have something to play for and believe in. They believe in whatever it is they believe in, and they're finding ways. They play really good defense. They're scoring enough runs. Sonny Gray has been awesome,
Yeah.
as is Ranger Suarez. Bill Murphy's favorite closer, Aroldis Chapman's been outrageously good.
It's really good to see him find his form again. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Mark, you want to talk about here's the schedule for a second. They get the Dodgers for one more tonight.
Right.
Then they get the Reds. They get the White Sox coming in. Then they get the A's next weekend. They'll take advantage of that. The A's aren't playing great,
Not as of lately, no.
but then here comes their tough stretch. The Blue Jays, who we don't know what they'll look like post tomorrow. The Pirates, who I don't know what the Pirates are, to be honest with you. You want them to be good, and they're just in their own way. And then they play the Diamondbacks before they end it with the Giants, Marlins, and they end the month in the Bronx.
That is a rough schedule, except for the exception of the Athletics. I mean, the Athletics in the beginning of the season were playing good baseball, but right now they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Um, that's a tough schedule. If I'm the Red Sox, I would be rethinking my rotation down the line, switch it up a little bit if you need to, because uh, with the Athletics being ruled out, every other team that is in that what Mike just mentioned is a playoff contender, and every game counts, which means You know what it means.
Their last three, just going through September too, their last three series of the year: Rays, Guardians, Cubs.
Ouch. Ouch. Oy.
But they also get the Angels and the Royals in September. So
Yeah, but we also know what happens in September. Certain teams want to screw other teams over so they play better.
all right, and Green Day says wake them up when September ends. And then Mark's band Wham goes wake them up before they go.
At least the Simpsons didn't sink my barge.
Shout out the Simpsons. All right. That'll do it for this edition of the Batter Up Podcast, sponsored by the Dugout of Millwood here on the network. Reminder again, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. right here, SAN YouTube page. Full deadline recap show. So we will recap every deal. Mark, you got anything on the dugout?
So if you all were not around and not watching right now, and you're going to watch later, Hat Trick Breaks has become a very, very important part of the network. Joe Knapp and his crew are currently out at the National where I should be and I am not. But it's a shout out, wearing the hat, Hat Trick Breaks, find them on Facebook. But on the amazing front, if you happen to see my Facebook page last night, Justin Valentini and my lucky charm Bree from Top Notch Sports Club pulled me not just a card, it's not a card, a NFL Hall of Fame authentic helmet signed by Warren Moon and Earl Campbell. Authenticated and authentic. I am not a Tennessee Titans fan, and as cool as that would look on my counter with my stuff, it just doesn't fit in the Cowboys, Mets, Rangers, Knicks colors. So we are selling it. So if you want any interest on it, be sure to check out the Top Notch Sports Club's consignment page is where you can go and bid on it.
For all content, go to the website, thesportscitynetwork.com. Great blogs, logs, wins, trades, and automobiles. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell here to the YouTube page. Follow the socials. Facebook, the Sports Sanity Network, Twitter, Insanity Real. Danny Boy Reginald, the old apps guy, Mike Rifke. We will see you. Quote the great Jack Buck. We will see you tomorrow night. Trade deadline recap show.